You know, when you're smoking meat, they talk in a lot of these books about leakage and losing heat. If you set it up and you get your fire going good with the charcoal starter, I mean where it's like glowing orange coals, and then you let the wood get going for about 15 minutes, who cares if it's leaking or not? It's not critical. I've got way more heat than I'm ever going to need. If anything, I'll have to worry about getting rid of some heat, not adding it. So if you've got leaks coming out the side and the top, so what? I mean, it saves me trouble, really. Now, if you've got a mediocre fire going and not much is happening, well, I can see why you'd be concerned about leaks, because you didn't let the coals get as hot as you should have, and you didn't let the wood get on fire. What I'll do is I'll let it get raging, and then I'll clamp it down on the top and at the bottom. And I'll keep it around, I don't want to make sure that this, early on, this doesn't get higher than about 175. I'll let this smoke for 2 hours, and you're not going to get any more smoke into the meat by then. I'll take it out, and then I'll put it in the oven, and I'll let it sit around 180 up until about an hour before it's going to be served. Well, 2 hours before it's going to be served. And then I'll turn it up to 350. And then I'll bring the temperature up to 202. Make sure there's a lot of moisture in the oven. I'll wrap it for 45 minutes, and then I'll slice it. Melt in your mouth, you'll see. Now, of course, you couldn't do this at a smoking contest because you're not going to have an oven. But if you want top-notch smoked meat of any kind, this is the way to do it. Because you're going to ensure you're not going to dry it out. You're going to be able to, I use a digital temperature probe, and the temperatures are always spot on. Nothing's going to get out of whack. This, if it gets a little hot, doesn't really matter. I still babysit it until I get it clamped down for the first time. Then I'll let it smoke for about 2.5 hours. I don't even really watch it that much, because I know the most it's going to get up to is maybe like 210, and with a ambient room temperature and a piece of meat, I'm not worried about damaging it. So I have had that happen like a couple times where it's got a little high. So you still have to watch it, but this is the way to do it. 2.5 hours smoking. I'll do an internal temperature check just for the hell of it. Not that I really care what it says. And then I'll let it go. Maybe if I haven't had any spikes in temperatures too high, I'll let it go 2.5 hours, maybe 3, and then it goes into the oven, where I'll have apple cider vinegar. I do a lot less spritzing when I do it this way, because I don't really care what the temperature is this early on in a smoke. All the good stuff's going to be checked and done at the end when it's finished off in an oven. Now this temperature's climbing pretty good here. I just shut the lid, and as it heads to about 175, 180, I'm not going to let any get it higher than that. I will shut it down here on the top. And this is going pretty good, so I'll do that now. Right there. And I'll shut this bottom. I don't want any more oxygen. Everything's going great. And now I'll just let it smoke for 2.5 hours.